This is Elliot Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here on CCW TV, the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. 3 segments into Season 4 of 2011.
Season 4, Jesus
4.
Christ.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, we kind of coasted through that last season, though.
No, I think Season 3 was probably one of our best seasons, but yeah, near the end there...
It was all about quality and not quantity. I think that's kind of what it was.
That's what it's about, baby. Quality, not quantity. Although these days I'd prefer a little more quantity. Anyway. We're now at the part that we call Last Rants, and Last Rants is when Jose and I do what fanboys do. Bitch and moan about the industry because we hate it so much. All we like to do is complain about it and complain and not really offer any sort of constructive criticism because we're just two pathetic fanboys in front of our wall of comics, by the way. I love it when people stumble across our videos and they go, and this is the greatest compliment I could ever get. I actually saw this comment on one of our older videos. They're like the comic shop guy from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it brought a tear to my eye. It did. It brought a tear to my eye because that comic shop guy is like an icon.
He is an icon.
He's an icon. Whereas I'm an icont. So what?
No, he has not gotten funnier in the last
I haven't. So, getting into 2011, you can't help but look back a little bit at 2010 and what is to come. And if we've learned anything from the comic book industry, is that they refuse to learn from history.
Yep.
Marvel Comics has already announced, this is old news by now, that they will be doing another event.
It's even going to be older news by the time you guys get this video.
It's going to be, there's going to be another event.
Huge event.
You know, I mean, Joe Quesada did a great big press conference.
Yeah, I know.
At Midtown Comics. You know,
because he wanted to make it feel like legit or something.
I mean,
who takes comics seriously? Really, come on, people.
And Fear itself, Matt Fraction and Stuart Immonen will be doing an 8-issue miniseries dealing with some.
I like half of that creative team.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you guys.
Figure out. And then around that, they're going to be building all these other tie-in events and stuff. So this whole when the publishers were kind of acknowledging that, yeah, you know, fans are tired of events. We've given them event fatigue. We're going to lay off the events, even though Siege was an event.
Yeah, and I think Marvel's new editor-in-chief,
Alex Alonso.
Isn't it Axel?
Axel Alonso, yes.
I think there was an interview. One of the lines that he said is that the reason why they're doing events is because if a reader buys the comic that's tied to an event, it means something. Like they for some reason, since there's been no events for a year, all those comics that have been out for the last year are completely meaningless, and fans don't think that those really count. That's what it was. That this issue's gonna really count because it's tied into this whole thing, and that's why they're going back to it. I understand that mentality, but at the same time, every issue of everything you do should count.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. No, you're absolutely right. I can see where he came up with that statement, and quite frankly, that's what the market has conditioned readers to accept.
Well, yeah. So when you condition the readers to do that, and Ages of Atlas is kicking ass, but isn't tied into Dark Reign or The Siege. And people come in looking for comics, like, oh, do you buy The Siege? Like, do you recommend anything else? I'm like, well, Ages of Atlas is out there. That's one of the best comics. Well, is it tied into The Siege at all? Mm-hmm. No. I don't really want to read it then. Yeah. And then people wonder why those books get canceled.
Right. So, Fear itself, and then there was this big deal with the Fantastic Four death issue that Marvel lifted the embargo.
So we're a day late. Man, this thing is... We can't even get into the specifics because this whole thing is a retailer thing. Half of it is because retailers now... All retailers around the country, in Britain too, get their books on Tuesdays so they can put them out Wednesdays. It wasn't like that before. Some retailers got them on Tuesdays, but now everyone's doing it. And there's specific rules and guidelines you have to adhere to when you get your books early. You can't put anything out that day, or else you're gonna get in trouble.
Right.
So a lot of these retailers aren't used to it. But the second week that we're doing it, that everyone's getting it, Marvel's like, hey, release that book on Tuesday. What the fuck? And you know why they're releasing it on Tuesday? Because for some reason, it's the end of the month dump. And this dump that Marvel's taking at retailers this week that we're taping this is huge. And not just because it's shit, but because of the amount of comics coming out.
Yeah.
There are like 50 comics coming out. You have Fantastic Four 587 coming out. The death issue, we will all know by the time we see this who died, or if there was more than one person. But on top of that, they're releasing the last 4 issues separately as second printings. 5 issues
of Fantastic
Four in 1 week. Why they couldn't do it like 1 a week or 2 a week before and then release the death issue? I don't know. You know what else? We have Amazing Spider-Man, the last 3 issues, second prints. So you have Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man, counting second prints, you have 9 comics coming out, just those 2 titles. And you have all 3 Avengers titles coming out. You have New Avengers, Secret Avengers, and Regular Avengers. You have X-Men number 7 coming out that has 9 covers. Captain America's coming out. Like all the huge books last week of the month. And to make it up because people are complaining about that, it's like, well, you can release this one book early. But you know what? I had people come in today asking for that Fantastic Four issue. When's it coming out? And they want to buy the since it's part 5, they want to buy the other 4 issues that are coming out second printing on Wednesday. But if they come in on Tuesday, we can only sell them that one book. Why the fuck would they want to come back on the next day to buy those? There's no incentive for them. They got their one book. They're like, fuck that. I'm not going back there. You lose sales.
Yeah.
This is a reactionary. Marvel, that's all they do. They're fucking so reactionary to everything. People were bitching and moaning about all the shit Marvel was releasing. A day later, like, 4 days before the shipment's supposed to come out? Hey, you guys, retailers, put it on Tuesday. How do you like that? Look, we're the good guys. No, you're not the good guys. You're still fucking shit up. I don't understand.
I think the most basic thing, though, and this is something we talked about, the fact that there is so much product coming out on one particular day that's we've talked about this before. It smacks of Marvel just trying to choke out the rest of the industry. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna flood the shelves with that, because production. You can't tell me that it's production that makes that sort of thing happen. That it's your production schedule that does it.
Buckley is just fucking incompetent as shit.
Yeah.
Why is he still working there?
Because there's some weeks when you got nothing.
One X-Men book came out. This week. I think next week we got like 4 or 5.
Yeah. So that makes no sense.
Avengers Academy comes out this week. We got all 3 more Avengers books. Why couldn't they do 1 a week? We've talked about this. And people wonder why we just get so aggravated, because we talk about the same shit, because nothing ever changes. It's like you think that's the second time I've done that. You think that they would just fucking learn. After this week, there should be no doubt in anybody's mind. After this, the amount of stuff coming out this week from Marvel, that Marvel does not give a shit about the retailers, because what if some retailers are hanging on? I mean, the bill from this week might be more than the previous 3 weeks, because the last 3 weeks of comics have been shit. Okay, let's say 2 weeks. This bill will probably be as big or bigger than the last 2 weeks for comic shops. Some comic shops they have no net terms. They have to pay the last week before they get to this week. What if they didn't make enough money the last 2 weeks to pay for this huge bill? Yeah, you don't get your comics, you're fucked. So Marvel doesn't give a shit about the retailers, and by now you have to tell them Marvel just does not give a shit about the fans. We talked about this. We're in a fucking recession, all right? DC did a good thing. All their books $2.99. They saw it. They saw people hurting. They heard the fans. $2.99. That's great. People are actually happy about that. I have customers coming up here how happy they are that they're saving like $20 a month. And to some people, that's not a lot of money. But to some people, it is a lot of money. And anytime you can make somebody happy, that's a good thing.
Right.
But some people still have budgets. When you're releasing 50 books in 1 week,
Yeah.
you still have a budget.
Yeah.
Marvel just, like they did before, they're going to cannibalize their own books. Thunderbolts is coming out this week. What if Thunderbolts is another Jeff Parker book? What if that just, the sales just plummet because no one buys it because everyone's buying 3 Avengers books, 5 Fantastic Fours, all the X-Men stuff, and they don't have enough for Thunderbolts.
It seems like really, I don't think what we're talking about here, what we're asking for, is really unreasonable. Come up with a somewhat manageable release schedule for your books. You know what you've got. You know what you've got in the pipeline. You know what you've got in production. You just sit down. You look at everything. I mean, because if you're having that much of a problem with your creative teams and your editorial, that it just so happens that you got 50 books coming out in 1 week, in 1 month, then you obviously aren't managing things very well. I mean, you expect little bumps in the road. You expect the book to get delayed here and there. You expect there to be snafus here and there. That that's part of business. But this is like freaking unreal.
Yeah, and when I'm talking about books, I'm not talking about, like I just laid out, I'm not talking about 50 individual titles. I'm talking about reprints and issues and variants.
Yeah.
And all that shit adds up.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Adds up. So it's broken promises from Marvel. Marvel said no more events. We got an event. Marvel said we're going to respect the release on Wednesdays. Release a book on Tuesday.
We're going to lower our prices down to $2.99. You remember that gem back in October?
No.
We're going to release 5 miniseries that are $2.99, but all the monthlies are going to stay at $3.99. So they're not really saving you any money. They're giving you new series to add on to what you're buying anyway. Right. So you're taking $3 more from you. You're not doing you any favors. Like this whole point one bullshit. Did we talk about that on the show? I know ad nauseum on my podcast we did about how the point one thing, Marvel's giving you the jumping on point for $2.99, but the week or two later, the same month that a point one issue comes out, the next issue of that series comes out, and it's gonna be $3.99. If Marvel wanted to save you money, they would have only released that one issue for $2.99 that month. You would have actually been saving $1. But now you have to buy a $2.99 issue, and if you're still collecting a book, you have to buy another $3.99. They're getting $3 more from you. They're not doing you any favors.
Right.
They like to spin it like we're saving you $1. No, you're making them spend $3 more a month.
Right. I don't know. This is probably the last time you're going to hear us bitching about Marvel for the year. No?
Dude, this is January. It's like the 3rd week.
I'm just saying.
I'm surprised we can go 3 days without bitching about Marvel.
I'm just saying that because there's just so much good. We've already talked about all the really good stuff that we've been discovering over these past few weeks. That for 2011, we're going to try to. We want to focus more on that. Focus on the positives.
On the good stuff.
Focus on the good stuff, and get some folks out there out in the spotlight that normally don't get it.
So, Infinite Vacation #1, go buy it. Power Girl #20, go back and buy all the back issues too, because Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Connor, and Justin Gray did an awesome job for this series. And then go buy Batgirl. This is number 17. I think there's 2 trades out for this series so far. And go buy the other issues. And then Supergirl #60. I might have to go back and buy the Sterling Gate issues because I heard they were good and because I really enjoyed it. So these are all good books. We're talking about good books, but we got to balance it out with the bullshit. And it's just Marvel just can't get on my good side ever. They just can't. I was giving him a chance with Amazing Spider-Man. Already fucking ruined that book. Dan Slott's already ruined that book with 4 issues. Took him 4 issues to just kill. Like, I was happy. I was like, oh, hey, Hobgoblin's back. Oh, they killed the Hobgoblin. Now there's a new Hobgoblin. And then they're shitting on Mary Jane more. And then, oh, God. Dan Slott now is just Joe Quesada Jr. writing Amazing Spider-Man. That's what it is.
Dan.
It's what it reeks of. It's what it reeks of. I thought that Dan Slott, I understand that I know he loves Spider-Man. I know he loves continuity. he's just I was so excited to see him come on because I knew he was gonna do the character right. He was gonna give me back my Spider-Man, even though the marriage is gone. Just give me a good Spider-Man stories. Can't even do it for 4 issues. I'm done with it.
Wow, Joe Quesada Jr.
Pretty much when it comes to writing.
Did you see the images of the Spider-Man costume that were released? What did you think of that?
Oh, there's only the one. It looks fine. It looks like a skinny guy in a Spider-Man
He's
costume.
got the web shooters back.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
But okay, so let's before we close, a couple things. If you haven't been checking it out, the CCW TV blog is back. It's up and running. In fact, Dmar is back to posting his Sunday Funnies again. So you want to check those out. Dmar got himself a Wacom tablet, and the Sunday Funnies are in color now.
Oh.
And until he can get a program that can do it, I'm going back to lettering his stuff again. So I'll be lettering the Sunday Funnies. And we also have a couple other guest folks on there. Comic Book Dude Aaron is doing his own little podcast biddy. As they become available, I'll be making those available on the blog. And we have the commentary. We want you guys now to contribute your reviews of books. So stop by the blog. I'll be putting up posts where we'll have CCW Nation reviews. We'll post those up, and you come on and you tell us, give us a review of a book that you enjoyed or a book that you think sucked, and give us your rating system. And then we want to do that. And, of course, the Golden Loebs. The Golden Loebs will return. So, by the time this video posts, we'll have a post on the CCW TV blog where you can offer your nomination.
I'm going to give my nomination right now, Nick Simmons.
What was the crappiest thing that happened in comics in 2010?
Nick Simmons drawing 3 issues that he ripped off of other manga comics. And turning it into his original work.
Here we go. So give us your noms. This is, again, for 2010.
Or the relaunch of Avengers and New Avengers with Brian Michael Bendis. That is something else, too. Or any Jeff Loeb comic that came out last year. Ultimate X.
Whatever happened to Ultimate X? With him and Art Adams.
I think Art Adams' wife had a child, and I think that's why.
So they haven't.
So I think, yeah,
because it actually started kind of strong, and then
no, to you it did.
To
me, it started like the same old. But I like the art. Yeah. The fact that I can't buy an Art Adams comic every month kind of makes me sad.
Like, geez, talk about painstakingly slow.
Oh, and speaking of more bad news, Batwoman got postponed to April. It was supposed to come out in February.
Well, that's a production issue. I mean, it's not that DC didn't want to have the book out there, but J.H. Williams is having his problems putting it.
No, he's not having problems. J.H. Williams actually said that he wanted it to originally launch in April because he had all these prior engagements, and he knows his own work pace.
Right.
But DC wanted to get it out earlier, and he's like, well, and he tried, but he's like, well, now it's back to April.
Yeah.
Like he originally. So I don't blame J.H. Williams for that at all. No. It's just editing.
So yeah, stop by the CCW TV blog and let us know.
And I already have a couple people on Very Media Junkies blog saying that they're going to be at C2E2. They're actually driving down to C2E2. C2E2 is in the middle of March, so we might all get together depending on how many of you bozos show up. We might all get together. I'm sure we will one night. It's 3 days.
I'm hosting a panel at C2E2.
Yeah, I already told people we're going to show up with tomatoes and just help you with them, and then we're going to leave.
Awesome.
We're going to show you we love you.
Awesome. Love. Again, it's only 3 weeks into the new year, and already the love is too much that I can handle. Anything else?
No.
All right.
I had to get back on the horse again, so, you know.
Well, the horse bucked a bit, and it took a dump halfway through the ride, but I think we did okay.
I think we did too.
Okay, folks, so as always, we look forward to your comments, your feedback. Let us know what you think. We're back, folks. I know you were afraid. You guys thought we were gone forever, but no, we're here, and we did not forget you. Like we said, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again, Jose can be found at InveterateMediaJunkies.com. You can see me at RedEyeChicago.com/geek2me, and let us know how things are going on. You can also follow us on Twitter Link here, link here, link here. All right. So until next time, this has been Elliot Serrano and Jose Melendez from Dreamline Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thanks for waiting for us, folks. We'll never stop loving you.